If you feel like you're constantly working, but you're not making the progress that you want, you do not need a new goal. You need better systems. I have started and sold multi-million-dollar companies, and I'm now the CEO of Acquisition.com. And I'm not here because I'm smarter or more talented than you. I'm here because I have built daily fail-proof systems that deliver actual results in my life. Here's how I build systems that work harder than I could ever work. Many people come and they say, I just can't get the motivation. But what they don't realize is that most people don't have a motivation problem. They have a systems problem. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You actually are going to fall to the level of the systems you put in place.
Leila's statement is more than a productivity hack. It's a profound truth about the very nature of human potential. The idea that we fall to the level of our systems forces us to look away from the distant, shimmering horizon of our goals, and instead turn our gaze inward to the architecture of our daily lives. This is the fundamental shift from an external wish to an internal command. It's a move away from hoping for a future outcome and towards taking control of the present. Input: most people live their lives buying lottery tickets of aspiration, hoping their number is called. A systems-driven person, however, understands that success is not a game of chance. It is a matter of physics, of cause and effect. They stop wishing for the destination and start building the vehicle, piece by piece, knowing that the journey itself, executed with precision, guarantees arrival. This is where we will focus on the deep, psychological why that makes this approach the true engine of exponential growth. Let's first dissect why a life led purely by goals so often leads to stagnation and quiet frustration. A goal, by its very nature, creates a psychological chasm between your present self and a future, idealized version of you. It establishes a binary condition for your happiness and sense of success. You are a failure until the very moment you achieve it. This mindset conditions us to perpetually live in a state of not enough. It ties our self-worth to a single moment in the future that may or may not arrive as planned. This is a fragile and unsustainable way to build a life. It creates a constant, low-grade anxiety, a tension between where we are and where we want to be. The brain, seeking to resolve this tension, often defaults to procrastination or distraction because the daily effort feels punishing and the reward feels impossibly far away. You are always running, but never arriving. Now, contrast this with the philosophy of a system. A system completely reframes the entire concept of success by focusing on the process, not the prize. Every single time you execute your system, making the healthy meal, writing the 500 words, meditating for 10 minutes, you are casting a tangible vote for the person you wish to become. Success is no longer a distant, monolithic event. It is the immediate, quiet satisfaction of keeping a microscopic promise to yourself. You are not trying to become a healthy person. You are a healthy person in the moment you choose the apple over the chips. You are not trying to become a writer. You are a writer in the moment your fingers are on the keyboard. This shifts the source of validation from an external achievement to an internal action. The victory is not in finishing the marathon. The victory is in lacing up your shoes on a cold morning when you didn't feel like it. This daily process of casting votes is the very engine that builds the most valuable and durable asset you can ever possess: unshakable self-trust. Motivation is a fleeting emotion, a fair-weather friend that disappears at the first sign of difficulty. Inspiration is an unpredictable muse, but trust in your own consistency is a rock-solid foundation that can withstand any storm. When you know, with a deep and quiet certainty, that you will follow through on your own intentions regardless of your emotional state, external validation becomes a bonus, not a necessity. This is the beginning of true internal power. It is a liberation from the need for applause or permission. It is the understanding that you are your own most reliable ally. And from that core of certainty, you can begin to build anything. You stop hoping things will get better and you start making them better. But how is this powerful trust actually forged? It is built in the same way you build a reputation with others, through a consistent track record of integrity. A system is simply a series of small, manageable promises you make to yourself. By laying out your gym clothes the night before, you are making a promise for your future self. By waking up and putting them on, you are keeping it. Each time you complete this loop, You make a small deposit into your self-trust account. Individually, these deposits seem insignificant, but they compound. Over weeks and months, hundreds of these kept promises grow into a formidable wealth of self-belief that no single failure or bad day can bankrupt. You are building a chain of evidence, proof that you are who you say you are. This reputation you build with yourself is what ultimately gives you the courage to commit to bigger goals. Because you know the person in charge of executing them is reliable. It is a common paradox that most people misunderstand. They believe that structure and systems are restrictive, that they cage our spirit and spontaneity. The exact opposite is true. Well-designed systems are profoundly liberating. Think of a master musician. They don't find freedom by ignoring the rigid systems of scales, chords, and music theory. They find ultimate freedom through the complete mastery of that system. The rules become so ingrained that they no longer have to think about them, freeing their mind to soar into the realm of pure creativity and expression. Your personal systems function in precisely the same way. They are the grammar of achievement. They provide the unshakable rails upon which the train of your talent can travel at maximum speed, rather than getting bogged down in the mud of daily indecision and inconsistency. This profound sense of freedom is primarily achieved by eliminating the hidden drain of decision fatigue. Your mind has a finite amount of high-quality cognitive energy each day, much like a smartphone battery. Every trivial decision you are forced to make, what should I wear? What should I eat for breakfast? Should I answer this email now or later? Is a small but cumulative drain on that battery. By midday, you are already operating at diminished capacity, which is why tackling important, complex work feels so difficult in the afternoon. A system automates these recurring decisions. It makes them for you ahead of time when you are clear-headed. This preserves your most valuable mental energy, not for deciding, but for creating, strategizing, innovating, and connecting. The very high-leverage activities that produce unbelievable results and separate the good from the great. This leads to the evolution of not just your systems, but of you as an operator. Leila speaks of anti-fragile systems, but the true evolution is when the person becomes anti-fragile. A goal-oriented person is fragile. A single, major setback can shatter their resolve and their identity. But a systems-oriented person views setbacks not as personal disasters, but as stress tests of the machine. Their focus immediately shifts from self-blame and emotional turmoil to a calm, diagnostic question. The outcome was not what I wanted. Which part of the system broke down? Was it the trigger? Was there too much friction in the process? Was the tracking method flawed? The stress of the failure becomes a direct catalyst for evolution. Challenges don't break you, they build you. You learn to welcome pressure, knowing it is the force that will make your systems, and therefore you, stronger. This mindset cultivates a radical and empowering reframing of failure. Within a system-driven life, failure loses its emotional sting and its power to define your self-worth. It is stripped of the heavy cloak of shame. A missed workout is no longer a moral failing or a sign that you are lazy. It is simply a data point. It is unemotional feedback indicating a flaw in your process. This intellectual detachment allows for objective, clinical analysis. You become a scientist in the laboratory of your own life. Failures are merely experiments that yielded a negative result, providing you with crucial information for the next trial. You stop fearing failure and start leveraging it. It becomes one of your most valuable tools for improvement, allowing you to learn and adapt at a rate that will leave others in a state of wonder. Ultimately, the path to extraordinary and sustainable growth isn't found in dramatic, heroic bursts of effort. It is found in the calm, relentless, and intelligent accumulation of daily actions guided by thoughtfully designed systems. It is about becoming the deliberate architect of your reality, not a passive victim of your circumstances. You trade the fleeting emotion of a distant goal for the deep satisfaction of a mastered process. The person you become along this journey, disciplined, reliable, resilient, and full of self-trust, is the real prize. The external achievements you unlock are simply the inevitable byproduct of a well-built life. If this deeper insight resonated with you, subscribe for more analyses and share in the comments how this principle shifts your perspective. To get the full original context from the source, Make sure to watch Leila's complete video linked in the description below.